Welcome back, Barcelona fans. Tonight we dive into massive breaking news surrounding Lamine Yamal, Ronald Araújo, Joan Laporta, and a series of major updates shaking the Camp Nou this week. After a controversial attack from former Barca director Toni Freixa, Hansi Flick has stepped in with direct advice for Lamine Yamal following his tough Champions League night against Chelsea. Meanwhile, the dressing room has officially rallied behind Ronald Araújo after his painful red card at Stamford Bridge. And that's not all. Joan Laporta has fired back at Florentino Pérez with explosive comments about refereeing in Spain, while sporting director Deco has been busy in London meeting key agents ahead of Barcelona's January transfer push. A lot is happening inside FC Barcelona, so stay tuned as we break it all down, with the truth, the drama, and the updates every Barca fan needs to hear. Hansi Flick offers Lamine Yamal advice after calls to sell Barcelona star. Yamal endured a chastening Champions League clash against Chelsea in midweek. Hansi Flick has encouraged Lamine Yamal to forget Tuesday's defeat to Chelsea after a surprise attack from former Barcelona director Toni Freixa. The 2025 Ballon d'Or runner-up has already reached stratospheric levels of fame and acclaim despite being just 18 years old, dazzling consistently since breaking into the first team for both Barcelona and Spain. Yamal is a bona fide superstar on the path towards footballing immortality, but the teenager's brilliance has not made him immune to criticism, even from those of a Barca persuasion. Former Blaugrana director Freixa refused to mince his words when discussing the generational talent, revealing the advice he would give Yamal and how Barca must react if the noise surrounding their starlet becomes an issue. "If Lamine were my son, I would tell him that he's not as good as they say he is. Keep working hard and don't believe anything you've heard. Focus only on soccer," Freixa revealed on El Chiringuito, as quoted by Sport. "If Lamine has any kind of problem that needs to be addressed, we have to help him. Hypothetically, if it reaches a point where this problem can no longer be managed, that's fine, Barca will continue without him. I'm not ruling out any possibility when thinking about my club. Everyone at the club is just passing through. What's important is Barca." Freixa's claims are certainly bold, with few at Barca likely to concur regarding a potential sale. The fleet-footed winger is certain to continue toppling records for club and country, bringing immense success to the Catalan behemoths in the process. Yamal came out second best in his personal duel with Chelsea's Marc Cucurella in midweek, trudging off the pitch in the 80th minute after mustering just one tame effort on goal as Barcelona were thumped 3-0. Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez was one of many who took great pleasure in taunting the teenage starlet, yet Flick's advice was simple: forget it. "For me, Cucurella is one of the best left-backs in the world," the Barcelona manager mused. "It's not easy to play him, he's very smart, very intelligent in the defense. The next step now for Lamine is to show again it's not about this match, forget it. Alaves is now the important thing and he has to show his best performance, his best level." How have Barcelona's players responded to Ronald Araújo's nightmare versus Chelsea? Hansi Flick's Barcelona squad have made use of the opportunity to make clear their support for teammate Ronald Araújo this week. As much, of course, comes off just the latest night to forget in the career of the Uruguayan. Restored to a starting berth for Barcelona's Champions League trip to Chelsea, Araújo cost his side dear, in being sent for an early bath before the halftime break. This marked far from the first occasion on which the 26-year-old was responsible for a high-profile blunder on a major European night. The backlash against Araújo, in turn, has since been nothing short of ruthless. As alluded to above, however, one group who have maintained their full support for their reeling teammate throughout this tough time have been Barcelona's players. As per a report from Mundo Deportivo, the dressing room rallied around him in the tunnel in London and reaffirmed their support upon his return to training. Araújo represents a beloved figure in Hansi Flick's ranks, considered a leader and reference point particularly for the Blaugrana's young talent. For this reason, his teammates have been more vocal than ever in their backing of the under-fire defender over the last 72 hours. Joan Laporta fires back at Florentino Pérez. Real Madrid has Barcelona-itis. Barcelona president Joan Laporta has delivered a sharp response to Real Madrid chief Florentino Pérez, following comments Pérez made about refereeing in Spain and the ongoing Negreira case. Pérez once again accused Spanish refereeing of being unreliable and used the Negreira allegations to suggest Barcelona had previously received unfair advantages, a claim Laporta has repeatedly denied. Speaking from Andorra, Laporta didn't hold back. He said Pérez's remarks were completely out of line, insisting they show Real Madrid's obsession with FC Barcelona. Laporta argued that Madrid cannot stop talking about Barca because they want to justify issues within their own club. He stressed that Real Madrid keeps stretching the Negreira case like chewing gum, even though, according to Laporta, there is no evidence of wrongdoing from Barcelona. He went further, stating that referees in Spain have historically favored Real Madrid, not Barcelona. Laporta even pointed to 2 recent Real Madrid goals that he believes should have been disallowed. One involving what he saw as a handball by Jude Bellingham, and another where Vinicius Jr. broke Iñaki Peña's nose in the build-up. For Laporta, Madrid's behavior comes from a deeper issue. Real Madrid, he claims, is still suffering from watching Barcelona dominate world football from 2004 to 2015, when Barca was considered the best team on the planet. Laporta concluded that Madrid's constant attacks only prove one thing: Barcelona-itis is real, and Real Madrid can't get over the golden era of their biggest rivals. It seems they have to talk about Barca to justify who knows what. They're constantly involved in the legal proceedings of the Negreira case, which they're dragging out like chewing gum because they know there's nothing to it, but it's a way of justifying something that isn't true. Barca has never bribed referees, and referees generally don't favor Barca. They've always favored Madrid. Just last week, Real Madrid scored 2 goals that, in my opinion, clearly involved Bellingham handling the ball, and in the other, Vinicius broke Iñaki's nose. Those 2 goals shouldn't have stood, and Barca would be leading the league now. Indeed, Laporta thinks that Pérez and Madrid are obsessed with his club and have a serious case of Barcelona-itis. They have a persecution complex against the best period in Barca's history. They didn't like that Barca was the world's leading team from 2004 to 2015, when Barca was dominant, and they're trying to find excuses that lead nowhere. We were the team that played the best football, recognized, admired, and esteemed for what we gave, recognized for what we did, and admired for how we did it. We won many titles, and Barca's style of play was admired all over the world, so don't make excuses. If they're caught up in this Barcelona-itis, I'm delighted because these are usually times when Barca is successful and triumphant. Real Madrid's television channel is trying to influence referees every week. Barcelona chief Deco holds meeting with leading player agent. Barcelona sporting director Deco this week sat down for a meeting with player agent Alessio Ceccarelli. As much came as the Blaugrana chief took advantage of every opportunity to expand his reach during the club's trip to London. Barcelona were of course in action in England's capital on Tuesday, put to the sword by 3-0 at the hands of Chelsea. All the while, Deco was making trips around the city to hold sit-downs with various representatives, agencies and more. And as revealed by Diario Sport, one such meeting was held with Alessio Ceccarelli of the World Soccer Agency. Ceccarelli for his part represents a number of noteworthy names from across the continent, including Arsenal defender Riccardo Calafiori and Fiorentina striker Moise Kean. Deco's discussion with the Italian is not understood to have revolved around any player in particular, but more to establish contact with a view to potential future deals. And that's the latest from a very busy week at FC Barcelona. From Hansi Flick defending Lamine Yamal, to the squad's emotional support for Ronald Araújo, to Joan Laporta's fiery response to Florentino Pérez, it's clear the Catalan giants are fighting battles both on and off the pitch. With Deco already preparing future moves and the January transfer window approaching, Barcelona's next steps could shape the entire season. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any urgent Barca news. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Barcelona ignore Freixa's comments? And will Araujo bounce back stronger? See you in the next one, Culers.